All right, it's now time to jet off to Europe as we discuss the latest from the English Premier League. Match week 21 ended a short while ago. Let's have a look at the results to include the two games contested today. Okay, so of course that 2-2 draw between Chelsea and Bournemouth. For those of you that forgot, West Ham got a 3-2 win against Fulham. Brentford that 2-2 draw against Manchester City. Nottingham Forest 1-1 draw against Liverpool. Newcastle 3-0 win against Wolves. Aston Villa beating Everton 1-0. Crystal Palace secured a 2-0 victory against Leicester City. That Arsenal 2-1 win against Tottenham. Brighton picking up 2 goals to beat Ipswich Town. And Manchester United going down earlier today and of course defeating Southampton 3-1. Let's take a look now at the first half of the EPL table. Liverpool sitting pretty on top on 47 points. Arsenal in second on 43. Nottingham Forest in third on 41. Newcastle round out the top 4 on 38. Chelsea just right below Newcastle United on 37 points. Manchester City 2 points separate them from Chelsea, having played 21 matches. And Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Brighton and Fulham, they round out the top 10. Well, as we showed you, things are beginning to heat up at the top of the table. All of a sudden, Liverpool's once 9-point gap at the summit has been reduced to just 4 after the Reds managed to salvage a point against tricky customers Nottingham Forest, the only team to hand Liverpool a league defeat this campaign. Well, Liverpool manager Arne Slot was full of praise for Forest, who he says are not in third by chance.
It's not what we wanted. We wanted to have 3 points, but in the end, what I want, what the fans should want, and what the players should want is that they give it all they got during every single game they play, and that's what they did today, combined with outstanding football the second half. I said already before the game, after 20 games, you can judge the table much better than in the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 games, and if you are right up there with us and with the other teams, and I don't think they are here because of luck. It's for every team very hard and difficult to play against them. They've already had a few difficult away games with United away, with City away, with Arsenal away, with us away, us playing us already twice. So that shows you that they are a team that can compete.
Arsenal manager Mel Arteta has been the subject of much criticism lately following cup defeats, but he says the team remains focused on what they can control following their come-from-behind win against Spurs.
We cannot control that. We can't control performances. It's like someone was talking about, is that going to raise the confidence? The confidence is to see every day how they play, how they train, and how they perform. Our result is something in the pay. We're going to depend because we lose in the most incredible way against Manchester United, that now our confidence is damaged. Let's go and do something else, honestly. The result gives us the chance to enjoy the moment instead of momentum, because momentum starts tomorrow to prepare Aston Villa 3 days later. That's all the momentum that we have is till tomorrow morning when we see our faces and we start to talk about how we're going to beat Villa.
But you're still very much part of that title race.
Yeah, we are, because it's so much to play for, and we can see how difficult it is for every team to win.
Arsenal manager there, Mikel Arteta. So team, let's start by talking about Liverpool at the top of the table. What we would have seen from them throughout this entire season, Lance. And of course, Arne Slot, filling some big shoes, stepping into some big shoes, the shoes of Jurgen Klopp, and, getting the job done. It doesn't matter the fashion in which he's been getting the job done, but he's sitting at the top of the table. He's leading the EPL table currently and making do with the players that he has.
Yeah, he's done a good job, and I think Liverpool fans have every right to have confidence for the remainder of the season. They've stuttered with 2 draws in their last couple of games, which makes their lead not as pronounced as it had been at Christmas. But this Liverpool team is playing really well, and Arne Slot's performances as the coach of the team, their results recently.
Last 5, yeah.
Some of those including cup matches and not just the English Premier League. So I think Arne Slot has shown that he's a high quality coach, and he's getting a lot out of this Liverpool team when a lot of fans would have worried, a lot of Liverpool fans would have worried that the departure of Jurgen Klopp would have meant a kind of a decline or a sort of a derailing of the steadiness that they've been showing in recent years. So I think Liverpool is doing really, really well, and at the moment are favourites to go all the way.
But you know, now, Ricardo, the conversation is around the fact that Arsenal is closing in on that gap with Liverpool. Although I felt Arsenal could have done a lot better despite picking up 2-1 against Tottenham. I felt like Arsenal could have gotten a lot more goals. There were so many opportunities against Tottenham that I didn't see the best of Arsenal. But say what? They also are, you know, closing in on Liverpool. And it's now we're beginning to see a battle between Liverpool and Arsenal.
You know, it's interesting that you say the conversation is around Arsenal trying to close the gap on Liverpool. But for me, and I think it's amazing that we're not having more conversations about them at this stage of the season, and Arne Slot hinted at it. Nottingham Forest are not in third by chance. They've had a fantastic season, and what Coach Nuno Espirito Santo has shown is that he's a high-quality coach. From the very first game when he took over this side last season, they were struggling badly, and from the moment he took charge of this team, you saw a completely different unit. And what they have produced so far this campaign is remarkable at this stage, because, you know, I like to joke that this Forest team is a team of Premier League rejects. Not the case, but really when you think about the history of Elanga, Wood, Hudson-Odoi, some of the key players in that setup, and even of the coach who went to Tottenham and did not have the type of success that I guess he would have hoped for after a good spell with Wolves before that. And here he is with this Forest team creating serious waves in the Premier League. And they should not be underrated because they also play a really good brand of football. They're exciting to watch, and Chris Wood up front has been magical for them this season. He really gets opportunities and does not put them away, and I think they're in the race. Now, will they be able to sustain it? I don't know, but at this stage, they are very much in the race, and you cannot take them lightly. And I think they showed that against Liverpool. They led for a long way in that game. Liverpool had to come from behind to earn a point, and every point you earn against this Forest unit, or you get against this Forest unit, you really have to earn it because they make life difficult. They are solid in defence, and they have Chris Woods and Gibbs White and Elanga,
really stepping up,
who can really do damage up front.
Yeah, I don't want this segment to end at all without us talking about Manchester United. My producer is already telling me we have 2 minutes to end this segment. Can I say that table again, the top 10? I don't remember calling out Manchester United
because
when
they're
I
not
read
there.
The top 10. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. One of the things is we have to ensure. So they're not there, but team, I sit between, of course, two Manchester United supporters. They've supported them for all of their life. Today, we saw a showing from Manchester United. Ricardo, a quick comment on that. They walked away with all points.
Well, again, I think there is improvement from Manchester United, and their recent results are showing that. By no stretch of the imagination is this going to be a unit that will challenge for the title or, in my opinion, for Champions League spots. I asked a question a few weeks ago whether Manchester United will be able to avoid relegation this season, and I wasn't sure at the time when I asked the question just because of how dysfunctional the unit looked. In quite a few matches, they just looked as if they didn't know what they were doing. They looked like a unit that had never played together before, had never practiced together before. But things are starting to shift, in my opinion. And you look back at the Liverpool game, you saw a lot of fight. You look at the Arsenal game in the FA Cup, again, similar thing, a lot of fight. And that is what is going to take Manchester United to wherever it is that they finish this campaign. Hopefully for them, it will be in the top 10, but they will have to continue to show that fight, because without that, they're going to be going the wrong end of the table. But the good thing is Amorim seems to be able, in the last few weeks, to be getting a lot more out of this unit, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, good stuff from Amad Diallo earlier today. Lance, you have to comment on your team.
Yeah, well, the spirit of the team is encouraging based on what we're seeing at the moment, because today was a good example. They were trailing 1-0 up to the 82nd minute and ended up winning by 3-1, which showed a lot of character, because they were staring defeat in the face and they had opportunities to score and didn't score. And they got the final phases of the game correct and got the goals they needed for what in the end was an emphatic win and by scoreline.
Yeah, and today was an important victory as well, Lance, because it's one thing to get a good result against Liverpool, who is a long-time bitter rival, and the entire team can get up for that and fight, and you get a good result against Arsenal as well. But how do you perform when you're playing a Southampton team who will likely put more men behind the ball, who will likely play in a low block? It's different. It's a different proposition. And when you go behind in a game like that as well, to be able to come from behind and score 3 goals and win it late, that's a big deal. So I think from that standpoint, it was especially important that Manchester United found a way to win today, and they certainly did that. We didn't talk about Arsenal, but we don't have to.
No, we had to, but we're out of time.
We can skip over them.
But I love these discussions, so hopefully we'll have another one on Arsenal coming up soon. We're going to take a break, come back with Interactive. Don't go anywhere.